All right, so we are here with Business Over Beer, and we just got done recording our hot seat interview with Ben Bevard of Escape Zone 360. Ben, you facilitated that interview with Mr. Bevard. You spent about an hour with him. Why don't you give us your thoughts on kind of what your takeaways were from your interview?
Well, first, I think I give him credit for what he has done in such a small period of time, relatively small period of time. I mean, he said to us and to me that he started last year, 2020, August, and then 15 months later, he's already expanded to 2 rooms. He started with one, he's now up to 2. That's amazing. Where his obstacles are is one, cash flow, and the importance of how to where the best ways to spend his cash goes to. That's one. Second thing he was talking about is he just hired somebody and he doesn't know what the management part of being a small business owner entails. He needs some help with that. And the third is just getting his name out there and visibility. He's having trouble. He's doing all the things that he thinks is right with Google ads and Facebook ads and doing social media stuff, but it's not translating into people coming in the door. So that's what I got out of it.
As much as he would like.
Yeah.
He also talked about how he is seeing the results of the growth. He's seeing positive results from having a second room, that's given him some more flexibility and some more opportunity at capturing his client base, particularly during the high volume times on the weekends. Mm-hmm. Right. So he was with one room, he's easily sold out at given times, but having 2 rooms gives his clientele, more flexibility and more opportunity to come visit him. So that has yielded some good results for him, for sure.
For sure. The one thing that I immediately is he's not doing enough, and he admitted it too, actually. He's not doing enough with local businesses and actually going in, introducing him. When we were there, he has a great plan with getting businesses in as team building. I think that's a great idea. But then you kind of asked Kaler about, or was it Canope? One of you guys asked about his time and how he used this time. And what did he say?
He spent it cleaning, making sure that his rooms were clean and COVID compliant, which is really important. 100%. Very important. Yeah. And making sure that all of his mechanisms and his rooms are all, fixed up and ready for use at all times. And that certainly makes sense because, if his mechanisms are working, he doesn't have a business, right? So all of that certainly doing those checks is really important. I would question, is that truly a full-time job?
Correct.
I would presume that he doesn't have the volume during the weekdays, because his first rooms open typically during the week, I think at 1:30 or at 3:00 or something like that in the afternoon. Yeah.
Canoper, you're a solopreneur, bro. So what did you hear? Since he's a solopreneur, you're a solopreneur. You kind of have some of the same issues being spread thin. Did you hear anything that really stuck out that he said?
The biggest thing for me was, like what Caleb brought up, was potentially time management. We only have so many hours in the day, and if you don't have business during that time, how are you going to spend that time? It can't be, tidying up all the time or cleaning up all the time. You have to streamline that so that how a process in place that you go in every time, it's going to take this amount of time to clean up, get everything that needs to be done in that room, and get out. However many times a day that has to happen. But I would think that having that in place and knowing this is how much time it's going to take me, if I'm filled up throughout the day, this is how many people I can have come in, this is how much time it's going to take to clean. I need to then worry about spending X amount of hours, hitting the pavement or contacting people You can't, I personally don't rely on algorithms. It's you got to go face to face. You got to, drop things off. You got to talk to people. But you also got to be reaching out to the people who are receptive to that as well. And if he's not reaching out to, people who are in, I would think like HR or CEOs, or just any small business owner about the culture in their business and how they feel, if they're lacking or if they need team building, things like that. That's a major thing that he should be hitting on. And if those businesses have slow times or they take breaks like lunch times and they close up, that would be a perfect opportunity for him to have them come in and do some sort of team building, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. I mean, I liken it to a manufacturing facility, right? You pay for the machines. You pay X amount for the machines, and it's a fixed cost for the machines, right? And so every minute those machines aren't running, your cost of manufacturing actually goes up. So you want to get as much output from those machines as possible. And I think about that in terms of his rooms, right? Every time there's not somebody playing a game in that room, his cost of production is way out of whack right now.
Mm-hmm.
So his focus needs to really be on, he needs people in those rooms as much as possible. And one of the things that really stood out to me that I think we all fall into as new business owners, he said, well, this is the industry standard, or this is kind of what everybody is doing. And I think about that in terms of his pricing model. And so, he prices his rooms per person, per player, because that's the way it's done in the industry. And I think it would be interesting to talk through a scenario where he challenges that pricing model a little bit, especially where he's at in the evolution of his business as a new business owner. Could he be more successful pricing it a different way? And I've got some thoughts on that we can get into in a little bit. But I think I would challenge just always the mentality, always challenge, well, this is the way everybody else does it. Well, if everybody else is doing it that way, maybe I need to do it a different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that goes with his, I definitely agree with that 100%. And that also goes with the way that he is getting his name out there. Like, he needs to, like Knope hit on it. He needs to go into businesses. He lives, or his business is right next to a bar. And it's a really nice, cool bar. He needs to go down there, and I want him, and I'm going to take him. We are going to talk to those owners, and we're going to see if we can do some sort of a collaboration. I would love to see a drink or something like that named after the escape room. And if they have that, or if they get that drink, they get something off, or they get a percentage off, or buy one, get one for his room. And it'll allow him to then do the same thing for his people that are in using his room that night or that day. Take this coupon, go downstairs, get yourself the Escape 360 Margaret Martini, whatever it is. We name it. You're helping each other. That's the way businesses work. That's the way small business works. You help each other. Man, he might be able to fill up his rooms just by that one collaboration there. I'm excited. I want to do that.
Yeah, business collaboration would be huge. I mean, but he's got, people of all ages coming in there too. So, I mean, consider, I'm trying to think of the lady who owns the popcorn place off Mill Plain. Maybe something with a company like that where, you come in here, we do something for each other. But I mean, that's for the younger folks, but it also covers older folks too. That would be like, well, I don't want to go get a drink, but that sounds pretty awesome. But thinking outside the box into different areas other than just bars and places that are close by in downtown, there's other places around Vancouver that might be a good business to collaborate with. So, I mean, there's a lot of just thinking outside the box, Yeah,
100%. I mean, and there's a whole Vancouver Downtown Association, utilizing the association in that respect and making sure who are all of your neighbors in downtown. It doesn't just have to be the bars, but not just having, you know, a referral, but also create an experience out of it. You know, come down for dinner at Little Conejo, come play the room, and then have a drink at the grocery afterwards. As an example, it's a Saturday night package, and you work with Little Conejo and you work with the grocery, and you create a, you know, it's a single price for the whole package. So now you've got a Saturday night experience, and it doesn't have to be the bar, right? It could be the tea room that's also right next door. You've got a little dandelion tea room, or the dandelion tea room that's right next door, right? So if you don't drink alcohol, then, you know, do the same thing. Go get a cup of tea. I don't know what their hours are, so it'd have to, you know, coincide with that. But you could do a lunch experience, a dinner experience, a late night experience. Hell, he's open till 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I'm curious if there's a way to do something like a quick experience. I mean, his experiences are an hour long. Could he do a half hour that is, you know, just as quality, but, you know, something that won't take them necessarily quite as long, that might lead them to think, maybe I need to come back and do a longer one, to just kind of keep people wanting more, or just the ability to introduce them to the escape room during a time where they have some time to go in there. You know, lunchtime is a great time.
What if there was one? What if there was one aspect of his game that was available at the grocery?
Yeah.
What if there was one riddle or one piece of it where you had to open a box, and you open a box, you get a 10% discount off of the game upstairs, or, you know, and inside the box is a coupon for the grocery and a coupon for the escape room, and it gets people thinking about how much fun it would be to actually just play the game.
You ever been to Trader Joe's?
I have.
You've been there with your kids? They got to find the monkey.
Yeah. So
boom.
Yeah.
Something, you know, like that.
Yeah. Of course, it always comes back to food, right? Yeah, you guys are going to give me shit about this, but years ago, Burgerville used to have a thing where they'd have a sign out front for their fish and chips, and it said man-eating fish inside. And so you go in, you'd order the fish, you know, blah, 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 it was delicious. But if you said, where's the man-eating fish? You got free fish and chips. They had a table that was sitting there in the order area, and it was always empty. But if you asked, where's the man-eating fish? They would be like, sit down, we'll bring you some fish. There you go.
Dude, I like
it. Was
that.
It was really a cool thing. I wish they still did those kind of things. But it brought to mind, you know, like with the monkey and figuring out how you can unlock something. That's a riddle, kind of, you know, it's something you got to figure out. And until you do, but if you hit on it, you know, it's like, maybe there's a free drink or a free appetizer.
Because the other thing it does is it pre-qualifies your clientele, right? 100%. Because if I walk into the grocery and the grocery, you know, they've got a display, or the bartender says, here, you want to open this box? No, I don't like games. All right. Oh yeah. Oh, I love games. Oh, well then, you know what? You will love Escape Room 360. They're right upstairs. Here's their card, or here's their availability. Here's their schedule, right? And again, and Ben could do the exact same thing. Hey, do you guys like cocktails? Man, they got the best cocktails in downtown Vancouver.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to keep it simple, because people don't like to have to add additional things onto their process.
Of course.
So maybe even just coasters. Can I put some coasters out? Can I give you guys coasters to use for a week or two? Here you go. And maybe they have a game on it, or maybe they have a discount they can use to go there, something. And then vice versa. Maybe he has a martini glass sitting in one of his things, and it's just really random. And there's some sort of game around that. If somebody happens to ask about it or something, well, here you go. Yeah.
I think collaborating with the local businesses, particularly in downtown Vancouver, as frankly, as struggling as they all are,
yeah,
but also as community driven as they all are, I think it would be very, very well received by the other business owners in downtown.
I agree. And man, hey, look, it's kind of like going to a movie. It's an experience, but you're escaping the real world for that short period of time. You're giving away, you're letting go of all your worries, all of your troubles, all the stuff that builds up, that adulting has in store for us, and you're escaping it. And I love the idea of having that time, like an escape from life or escape from reality time, and making it part of the community that he's going to build his own little escape community and including all these small businesses. Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way to make an escape block where you go into one of these businesses, and in order to get out, you have to solve something within that business, which then in turn leads you to another place like a room or another business. I wonder if there's some way he could collaborate with other businesses to create this, not just in his room, but around downtown.
Yeah, because one of the ideas I had was, this idea of like a passport, right?
Yes.
I had it for a different reason, but I'm gonna go with your thought there, Canope. I think that's a great idea because it could be his escape room 360 passport, right? You go into Dandelion Tea, and if you order, the whatever drink, you get your check mark, or you go into Dandelion Tea, solve a question or solve one of the riddles, and you get a free tea or a half off tea or whatever. Yeah. And then you get a new card, and then she gives you the updated card, and then you have to go, and then you kind of have to go around all the different places and solve all the riddles, and then you bring it up to Ben completed, and you get a shirt, or you get 10% off a room, or whatever it might be.
There you go. That's it, dude. They can start there. Everything they collect at these local businesses can help solve a quick little riddle at his place, a little half-hour thing you were talking about, and they win something. So every place they go here, is a part of a riddle. Over here is part of a riddle, and then they take that up and they figure out the rest of the riddle. It's really quick. It's just one little thing, but they open it up or they solve it, and they get a shirt or a mug or whatever like that, and to kind of bring everything together. Man, that could work.
But I think what we're talking about is most important is engaging with his downtown Vancouver small business neighbors. That's the biggest thing. Ben, you talked about the escape community. I'm gonna use that as a segue to go into the other escape rooms that are around town. He named 5 in Vancouver alone, plus the ones that are down in Portland as well. And he referenced each other. They reference each other as co-peditors, right? Yeah. Wasn't that what it was? They aren't competitors; they're co-peditors.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to talk about an idea of like group sales. So if they really are co-peditors, what if you sold packages? Mm-hmm. What if you got the 5 rooms together and you said, all right, for you to do one game at each place individually, it'd be $500. All right. But you could buy a ticket for a pass for all of them for $400, and you have to redeem it within a certain period of time. Right. Then you get those advanced sales already. And now you've got this, you're selling en masse to people who like this. Right. So you go into escape room, Northwest Escape Experience, for example. Mm-hmm. You go and you're like, oh, I've never done this before, or hey, I like escape rooms. Let me go try this, and I have a great time. Oh man, I'm gonna go do another escape room sometime. I just got to. Well, instead of that, hey, tell you what, why don't we just sell you a package deal? You can go to all the escape rooms in Vancouver for one low price.
That's great. I love that idea. That way you're getting the entire community together.
And you're all selling for each other now, right? Yeah. Now it's not just me trying to get visibility for my business. Now I'm using their audience to help me, and I'm using my audience to help them.
I love that.
I see that as a little bit of a loss leader potentially. Everybody discounts it so they can get it to this price for a person, because I understand where he comes from on the per person side, because if you have 2 or 3 people, you can't really charge, $150 for those 2 or 3 people. It gets kind of outrageous. I mean, you want people there, right?
I mean, if I would say, is it? I don't know. $150 for me and my friend to go out and do this
for an hour.
You don't want it to be $150. Bring more of your friends.
Yeah. No, I hear you there.
Because again, his cost to operate that room, whether there's one person in it or 10 people in it, is exactly the same.
That is true.
Right. And so let's say he charges by the room. I charge $150 for the room, or I said I came out to $128, $128 for the room. And you know what? Maybe it's 100, maybe it's 99 between the hours of one and 5, and it's 200, in the evenings on a Saturday night. He can tier it based on demand. But if he's got this price, $128 for the room, and I'm looking at this going, well, whether it's me and my friend at $64 or me and my friend at $99, and am I going to really shrug that off? Probably not. It's probably going to be about the same. Or maybe it's me and my friend, and I book the room for $128, and I'm like, oh, hey, I really want to add another friend of mine. Now I'm bringing more of my friends with me. Now, sure, you're going to lose if they get 10.
No, not necessarily.
But you're gonna win if they only have 2 or 3, right? So you got to price it so that you're dollar cost averaging the per room cost.
Yeah, you could do like $150 for a group of 5. Everyone after that is $25 a piece or $20 a piece that you add to it. I mean,
are you going to alienate the groups of 2? I don't know what the average number of people per game is. Yeah. That would be a good follow-up question for us to ask him. What is, because if 90% of his games are 4 players or more, then then it's a non-starter as far as I'm concerned. But if 90% of his volume is 2 players and only 10% or some lesser amount is more than 2 players, then you've got a pricing challenge. I still suggest that pricing it by the room for ease of pricing and ease of a buyer. So when you buy the tickets, so do I buy it for me and then my friend has to go on and buy it separately, or do I have to buy them all at once in order to book the room? So
my guess is you probably go on and buy tickets,
just like you would for a concert, right? So all right, I need 5 tickets, so I'm going to go buy the 5 tickets. So whether I'm buying 2 tickets for me, and again, and it looks strange, even on his website, you look at it, it says there's 10 available. Are there 10 available? So if I go in and buy 1, are there then 9 available for strangers to come in, or am I booking the room?
My guess is you're booking the room.
See, that's what I think too. So why wouldn't his booking follow that same thought process? You're booking the room. And look, and if $128, there's not value for an hour at $128, maybe he's in the wrong business.
Or maybe there's a booking fee for the room, and then each person after that has a per person charge. I don't know. I think it'd be easier for the room.
So again, 10 available. It shouldn't say available. It should just say book room now.
Book room.
Yeah.
It should be times, not available, not like people. It should be book this room for 2, 3, whatever it is, whatever the time is.
Yeah, it says 315 Churchill control room, $32 per guest, 10 available.
Yeah,
What if it says 315 Churchill room?
$125.
$128. Up to 10 people.
Up to 10 people.
Bring you and 10 of your friends.
Dude, that is so much better. It's so much easier for people to understand too. You're right, because the other thing that's confusing. What does that mean, 10?
Because then what if I book 4 and then 2 more of my friends want to join? Now I got to call him and how do I do that? I'm just saying from a ease of purchasing standpoint.
Yeah, for your consumers. Absolutely.
And then it does differentiate him as far as, look, man, I'm delivering an experience for the room, and I want as many of you and your friends to show up and have this entertainment and this great night as possible. You want the cost to be less? Bring more friends.
Yeah.
The more people he has in that room, the better. Right now.
I would agree. Now again, those people will come back and they will invite other people.
Look, you're booking 10 people solid every single hour on the hour every day that you're open. Well, we're not having this conversation, but he's not doing that.
Yeah.
Right. He needs people in the room.
I'm curious if this conglomerate or this co-competitor scenario here has become more of a collusion in a way. I mean, let's keep the price at about this range, so we are helping each other, so to speak, versus competing against each other.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I would think, like you said, you want to get as many people in there as possible. And the thing there is that if he doesn't book a certain amount of rooms per week, at that lower price, that will really hurt him, because on the weekends, if he's booking 10 people and 10 people are paying, $32, $35 a piece per hour they're in the room, that's a big loss of money. It's a big loss. So finding that fine line there of, what's going to work, how do we do this? Maybe it's you, a group of 5, you get it for this price, and it's, a little bit less than what it would be if they were to buy it for, $35 a piece.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
then a group of 10 gets even bigger discount.
What if that room pricing is his way to get, because he talked about wanting to get other businesses in. What if that's his way? Because it's easier for a business or a corporation to rent a room for their people, especially if they want to do team building stuff. I think, and he talked about he doesn't know how to get businesses there. I like that room rate for businesses. Is there a way that we can capture that and offer that to, the Marriott, whatever?
Yeah.
Here, $150. You're going to be here at X time. This is going to be a great team building experience, up to 10 people. Come on down, team building or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. I think I love the room pricing.
I mean, because if you do the math, he said he needs 6 to 8 players per day to break even. That's 56 players. And I used an average. I think I used an average of four players per game. It's 14 games a week. I mean, that's not a lot when he's doing 10 per day. He's got 50 slots available. He needs 14 of those to break even. Round numbers.
Round numbers, right.
So I wonder if, and again, and how is he spending his day? So if he's open at 1:00 and his first game is scheduled for 1:30, is he at the room at 1:30 because he feels he needs to be there in case somebody calls to book the room because he's showing he's open?
Well, I would think he would be able to be anywhere and answer that phone and go on and look.
Well, we got to find that out, because he needs to evaluate when his room is being booked, and that's when he needs to be open.
Yeah. I mean,
because again, at 14 games per week, like he said, he should be doing 14 games on the weekend, right? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's when he's making his money. So
maybe he has 2 different rates. He has a workday rate and a weekend rate.
That's a good point too.
I mean, it may be a little confusing, but I mean, if he says like, look, $150, 1 to 5 p.m., $150, bring your crew up to 10 people.
And he could have 2 separate packages with that too. He could have a legitimate team building package.
Yeah.
Like here, come do the team building package. And actually it's up to 20 people because he has 2 rooms.
2 rooms.
Right.
So up to 20 people for your business. You get an initial evaluation with myself or some sort of coach facilitator as an introduction. And then you get 30 to 60 minute debrief or a 2-hour, whatever it is, right? So you book it from 9 to noon, and you get all of these things inside of it, and that's $1,000.
No, and I'm telling you,
that's if he did one of those a month, how that would help his cash flow.
Oh,
and so that's one aspect of it. The other aspect is just simply entertainment team building.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Hey, bring your friends over, bring your crew over, book the room, up to 20 people, $500.
There it is.
Businesses would shell it out. Oh, and by the way, and then go have lunch at Little Conejo.
Yeah.
Go have lunch at Lewitt. Go grab a beer at the grocery.
At that price, each of you gets a free taco.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right. Something like that.
I mean, he could go in, he could just buy coupons. Okay, if I buy 50 free 50 coupons for free tacos. Will you give me, give me a rate half off, or, whatever, half off taco or whatever, because I'm going to send these folks to you. I mean, if they're me, they're going to have 2 more tacos and a beer or a drink or something.
Absolutely, they are.
Yeah,
absolutely,
man.
Or maybe it's even catered in.
Maybe,
right? You could. Yeah.
You have a deal with Little Conejo, and lunch is provided.
I mean, yeah, he could build that in and easily mark it up as part of the package too. So
yeah, that's what I mean. So now you've got so now you do, hey, corporate lunches at the escape room. You get to play a game and you get lunch.
The flip side of that is there might be additional cleaning that has to happen versus what he normally does.
Oh, he's got an employee now. So
that's true.
I know, but he's got to keep that. I mean, if it were me, I have to go in and do this. It's going to take me this amount of time, and they'll be ready for the next people. Except for if somebody gets upset stomach or spills all over the place. That's why sending them back down is a better.
I agree.
But you could build that in. You could build that in still as well.
Yeah.
Say, hey, here you go. You have they know that they're coming in at this time. They'll be done at this time, and they'll be in there at that time. They set aside a booth area for this group.
But my question is, how many people are doing escape rooms on a Wednesday at 1:30 in the afternoon?
Exactly. I'm looking through like some of the other ones. I'm looking through their booking, and their booking is the same way. You see you see a room, and then you see available, and you see a quantity. It's like, I know that at 11:45, this one doesn't have 6 available rooms for this exact same one. It's got 1 available at 11:45. So I imagine that a lot of these places, they're doing it all the same way.
But we're going to challenge Ben to think differently about it. Mm-hmm. And again, he doesn't have to take any of this advice. How is he remarketing to his existing customers?
What's his retention like? Yeah.
And what's the lifespan of a room? He said, well, rooms are hard to open. Yeah, but what is the lifespan of a room?
Yeah.
How often do you want to turn those rooms over? Because you've only got 2 rooms.
Yeah. Do you offer any sort of benefit to people to come back?
Yeah. I mean, why
another one of your rooms? Is there a return, rate? Come back and I'll give you $10 off.
But they wouldn't. Why would they come back and play the same room? They already
not the same room, a different room.
Oh, a different room.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, though. So what's the total market? So, and we didn't get into that too, right? Like, how big is the escape room market? I mean, but it's got to be exponential, right? There's got to be way more potential customers than.
Oh. Yeah.
And now I'm starting to think, what kind of content marketing is he doing? How many people know what an escape room is? How many people are thinking about escape rooms as forms of entertainment, family-friendly entertainment?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I hear escape room and I think someone's breaking into my house. I got to get into this room. I got to lock myself down. Yeah. I'm seriously, that's one of the things it's like, oh, wait a second, escape room. Oh, you're talking about entertainment? Okay, well.
Yeah. Do people really understand that it's a form of entertainment? Are you tired of going to the movies, or do you want an alternative of going to the movies? Are you not comfortable going to the movies because it's too crowded? Well, guess what? Your closest friends come in a very relaxed and clean environment. And you get the same level of entertainment.
Yeah. And other people, I believe, probably think about it from a standpoint of, is this one of those like haunted house type things where you have to escape, and it's all gory and it's scary and stuff versus, testing your mind and how well you work together. I mean, maybe escape room is not necessarily the right term for what it is.
But yeah, I think there's some work that he can certainly do on those types of definitions, and whether those are blog posts, whether those are videos, things like that, that could really.
Newsletter.
What's that?
Newsletter.
Yeah.
He's got to be capturing those email addresses.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's where the lifespan of a room is a real challenge, right? Because again, once I play it, I'm not going to play it again. And that's why if I play his room, or I play both of his rooms, I'm probably not coming back.
Not for a while.
But but I like escape rooms. Especially if I play both of his rooms, man, you've got to go see one of these other rooms. And the same has to be true then down the street, right? I've played this room at Northwest Escape Experience. All right, but I'm looking for another room. Well, you got to go play Ben's room down at Escape Zone 360.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're doing some of that, but if they could do that in a more organized way, I think that would make a huge difference. And that's where my other passport idea was.
Passport,
right?
Yeah.
Get a stamp at each one. You get a shirt, or I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I wonder if you could, how video games have expansion packs? Back in the day, remember you had like Pac-Man, then you'd get they have expansion packs and you could add more levels and stuff. Is there a way that an escape room can actually be the same, but just have different alternative endings and different ways to get to the end?
Different variations.
That way you could get people back. Like, I really like this room. Oh, you should come back for the blah, blah, blah part of it.
And what if he did it once a week or once a month?
Yeah, for sure.
Here, this is Glowing Galaxy alternate universe. If you played the game, come back and do it once a month.
Yeah.
On the first Saturday of the month. That way, if you already played it, get back here and do it. I love that idea. I'd never even thought of that. That's a great idea, Ben.
Well, and
they could buy their original one and the expansion pack at the same time at a discounted rate.
That's right. You're because we know when it's going to be, right? It's going to be on a set day every month, or again, and then that creates this exclusivity, right? It creates this reason to come back.
It's a great idea, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then again, I mentioned the Vancouver Downtown Association. Again, they've got events. They've got an events calendar. He needs to find other places to partner with where he can land on their events page. If obviously he's not going to put his whole calendar up there, but if he could just pick Saturday nights or Sundays or something and say, you know what? And it's like the Vancouver's Farmer Market, right? If you go to an event site, Vancouver's Farmers Market every Saturday from 10 to 4, whatever it is. Why can't it be Escape Zone 360 every Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 1 or whatever it is? Book now.
Love that. Absolutely.
So finding these other outlets to be on their event sites or on their calendars is just another thought I had as far as getting additional visibility.
Well, and to build off of, he mentioned that he had a business coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had one, right? Why? This is where I think why doesn't he contact business coaches to let them know that their clients should come into his escape room for team building? He doesn't have to do any of that prep work either then.
I mean, think about a coach who's working with an organization, right? So it has to be a specific type of coach who's working with a company, right? And you make that call and you say, is there a portion of your coaching that does a personality test? Is that part of your coaching experience with your clients? Okay, great. Well, I have an idea where you could use the personality test and my escape room to sort of illustrate how those different personalities work, because you can watch your clients do the room and then say, because of your personality, you try to solve problems this way and you try to solve problems this way. And do you see how you guys work together to do that and communicate it? Now I can show you how that's going to work in real life when you have a problem at work. Like,
yes,
he could have his room booked just on that. And I mean, and you're talking again, if he leaves those slots open from 9 to noon during the week,
he implements the room rate.
And it's premium, man. That's premium dollar bills.
Oh yeah.
Because businesses, I mean, I shouldn't say this, but businesses who have coaches, they usually have money.
They've got money to
They
spend.
got money to spend.
I'm curious how much like a pop-up type scenario would work as well, like at a hotel who has small office meeting rooms that are empty, where he could come in and set up something and bring in business to those places too. Make money, bring in business. It's a,
I mean, again, think about that again. And everything that we're talking about here has dual functionality, right? So if he created a mobile escape room experience that he could set up in a conference room
or a garage,
right? Or a break room.
Yeah.
Where he brings that in, either for team building or just for entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could be doing Christmas parties and holiday parties. He could be doing conferences and sales meetings. It could, again, escape room. He has escape experience. He needs to embody that part of his brand. It's an experience. It's not just my room or my 2 rooms. He can bring that experience to a lot of different avenues. Knope, I love that, man.
That'd be huge.
Was that you or was that you, Ben? It was you, Knope, wasn't it? The mobile.
Yes, Knope, yeah.
I love that idea of the mobile of the mobile escape room. Bring it to them.
Well, imagine you have a conference that comes in at the conference center at the Hilton, right? And you have a room. And because I go to these online things, or I go to these events that distributors and stuff put on, and they have different things you can do in the evening, or you're at a place that has things that you can do.
Yeah.
What if you, as part of this, you brought in an escape room that got set up, and the people who are at your conference could pay to go to the escape room, or it was already prepaid for, and you got a mint for being there, Maybe you said, well, I'm going to be here for 2 days, and these people are going to book all day long for half hour, 45-minute ones, and I'm going to charge them $10K.
Oh, if you have a travel, I'm just thinking right now, talk about premium price. You have every right to charge a premium.
Oh, those businesses that have conferences have money to spend.
Heck yeah, they do.
They've got, usually a company, like in my business, we have manufacturers that are funneling money into the distributor for, relevance.
And what's even better than that, think about the Hilton. You can walk to the Hilton down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Hey, you like what you did while you're in town? If you want to go play my actual room.
Yeah. Or, hey, Hilton, have you thought about offering an escape room on site to conference goers or to the different conferences? Or if you can mark me up. Here's your cost.
Again, if you think about the Hilton though, man, or all of these places downtown, if you get hooked in with the conference event planners, he doesn't even have to necessarily do it as a mobile. They could just come to his place.
Yep.
Hey, look, as an evening thing, as an off hours thing, will you include a coupon in your conference packet?
Dude, maybe
that's a great idea too.
Maybe as part of one of our solutions, in advance, we go and talk to someone at the Hilton. And we say, would this be something that you would be interested in as an event planner to package into your events? And if it's successful, we could take it to them in the hot seat and say, hey, we've one-upped things. How would you feel if you were to be able to do this? And we offer a solution here. Go check this out. It's already been talked about,
I have the perfect person. I just got connected with this person. She just got hired at the AC Hotel by Marriott on the waterfront as their events director. I'm just going to run it by her, and she's got a lot of industry experience working in hotels and doing this type of work. So I don't know her personally, but I'm going to call her and say, hey, we want to run this by you. Get your thoughts on how that might work. But that's the point of all this anyway, right? Is to hopefully give him some perspective and some new lenses of thinking about his business a way that maybe he hasn't. we came up with, I mean, I don't know how many ideas we came up with, a dozen or more ideas, right? And I'm looking forward to sort of distilling all of that for Ben and seeing what solutions we can help this guy really blow up his business. We talked a lot about visibility, right? All the things we talked about from a marketing standpoint, getting out in the community, doing all the partnerships, that's really going to help his visibility.
Yeah.
Right. Driving business to his rooms, getting his rooms booked, having people in there playing games, that obviously is going to help that will solve his cash flow problems, right? He needs players. Yes. So doing the partnerships, getting the visibility, getting people in there, his cash flow is solved. Then that leads to he will have to hire more people. He's got one part-time employee now, and he's going to have to level up really fast. But I think that's not his immediate concern.
I don't think so either. He said it was, but I don't think it is.
I think it's a point of anxiety for him because it's new. Right. But what's great, he has this opportunity now to work one-on-one with one employee, one part-time employee, and sort of get his feet under him, try to figure out maybe what his management style is. And hopefully he can get that experience before he really starts to grow. And then as he grows, then he is going to have to get some help on the culture, hiring, recruiting.
Yep.
Maintaining, operations and, policies and procedures and then doing all of that. But I don't think that's his immediate.
No,
filling that gap during the daytime, I think is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You can't go with full days not having really anything going on.
Yep.
So.
No.
Turn your passion into activities, folks.
That's right.
Yep.
100%.
Surviving is not the badge of courage. Thriving. That's the badge we should all be wearing. So
I like that.
All right. Good job, gents. Looking forward to seeing you at the conclusion.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Let's get them.